Well, we're officially courting now.
Well, with the whole courtship thing, I thought, I like her. Why would I want to take her to court?
I don't know what it is about being in a relationship, but you're just not very hungry. Well, just gotta watch her little waistline, you know?
I have a desire to save really the physical for marriage. You know, I enjoy.
Good answer. Good answer. Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, July 20th. We have an update on Jinger Duggar and her husband, Jeremy Volo. And we're going to talk about an exclusive that The Sun put out a couple days ago and some things that Jinger and Jeremy are doing out in LA and why she is working more and more towards cutting ties with her famous family. Oh geez, Ginger's going free. Free Jinger! Okay. Not so much. She is married to Jeremy. It's been a couple months now since Josh Duggar was arrested, actually almost 3. He was supposed to have his trial in the beginning of July, but that was postponed to the end of November. While the world is waiting for him to receive justice, Miss Jinger is working on severing connections with certain members of her family to save the brand that she and Jeremy have built. Jinger and Jeremy started a podcast called Hope We Hold. The podcast is a lot of Jeremy and Jinger talking about Christ, Jeremy prophetizing, talking about God. They use their walk with Jesus as sort of a means of hope. They published their book, The Hope We Hold, and talked about just about everything related to God and how God helps them through all of the worst seasons of their lives. Now, they both moved to Los Angeles so Jeremy could attend a seminary in Los Angeles called the Masters Seminary through Grace Community Church, which is under the leadership of John MacArthur, who is, whoa. Anyways, Jinger and Jeremy have been living a more progressive lifestyle and are becoming more accepting of different lifestyles, although some of their beliefs haven't really evolved that much. But one thing in particular is that Josh Duggar and his arrest is not good for their brand. And so they want nothing to do with him. And that could be the reason why she is going to be cutting off certain members of her family because she's got money to make and a brand to build. So that wouldn't be the first time somebody gets rid of family members because of that, but also because of what he's done. So check it out. A source that spoke directly with The Sun talks about how they are living a different life. They have become exposed to a lot of different lifestyles in Los Angeles, much different than when they were in Laredo, Texas. They spoke about how they are becoming more accepting of different lifestyles, but they said that their opinion on gay marriage remains the same. However, they are more open to the way other people choose to live their lives in LA. Then they also said this: they're bringing their children up differently to how Jinger was brought up, and their parenting style is much more relaxed. It's likely their daughters will be even more open-minded. So with every generation, we might get one step closer to an actually accepting of the gay population Duggar. Maybe, fingers crossed. Although the source went on to say this, although they like being in the limelight to work, they don't want the focus to be on their children, and they choose to keep their faces hidden on social media. I actually don't mind this, and people get really mad. They get so mad at Jinger and Jeremy because they don't share the faces of their kids. Like in my comments constantly, they get annoyed. I see people talking about how annoyed they are about Jinger and Jeremy not sharing photos. And I'm like, dude, it's their choice. They're their kids. I don't really show photos of my kid, and if I do, I cover his face. Every single parent has to make their own choice in how they protect their child's privacy. And if you don't want your kid's image out there, you can make that choice. And it's not your entitlement as the viewer to continue to see a child's face just because you are used to seeing them on TV. Their show was canceled. They're not on TV anymore. So the next thing is they have apparently hired a nanny to help with some of their things, but they do spend the bulk of their time with the kids. They say that They have a lot more projects coming down the pipeline as they continue to build their lifestyle brand. So that's what they're working on, a lifestyle brand. It says they are much more LA than they were when they first moved out here. They drink high-end coffee and have just joined a gym together. They love it. Jinger and Jeremy live in a fairly modest family home, but they're doing really well when it comes to money, and they just bought a new Lexus. It says they also dine in very starry places like Craig's and Catch, and they don't drink, but they often brush shoulders with celebrities. It's a very different life to Arkansas and where Jinger grew up. So if your question is, are Jinger and Jeremy drinkers? Apparently the answer is no. Jeremy's actually talked a lot about his days of drinking in college, which makes me wonder if he thinks that he has an alcohol problem and so therefore he abstains from everything. So according to this source, Jinger and Jeremy do not partake in beverages. It says they go to watch the Dodgers play sometimes. They love little trips to the beach and ice cream parlors, and they feel free. They feel it's a great city to bring their kids up in. So other things that they say that about them is that it's been great to watch them embrace this life. It says most people that move here get intimidated at how big the city is, and they're really done a great job at taking on the best parts. They're big fans of shopping on Fairfax and have become quite the sneaker fans with an affinity for Nike Air Jordans. Yeah, she loves to wear her Air Jordans, even with skirts. And they also added this, there's a lot edgier. Jinger wears short shorts sometimes, and they wear a lot of black. They're certainly experimenting when it comes to their fashion choices. So apparently wearing black is a fashion choice. I didn't know that. She has grown up in a world where she didn't get to wear short shorts. She didn't get to wear skirts that were above the knee. She didn't wear bathing suits. She had a very, God was covering everything up here and down and nothing showing. So obviously modesty is something that she's grown up in, but she's not afraid to show off her legs. She's been photographed by paparazzi with short shorts on, in tank tops. She's not the girl that we once knew. They say that they wholeheartedly, in terms of the show being cut off the air, they wholeheartedly agree with the decision to not renew Counting On. They're definitely excited for the move forward. They said, and then in terms of how they're feeling about Josh's impact on their business. So here's the meat of the story, and I think the reason why these two are sort of severing a lot of the connections between a lot of the Duggars and them is they say this: it's been a very tough time for them as a family, with welcoming a new baby during a pandemic and now Josh's arrest. They have been very outspoken about him being charged. They want nothing to do with him, and they don't want his issues to get in the way of their life in California. They feel enough is enough. They stopped recording their podcast some months ago as they were very overwhelmed juggling family life with the lifestyle brand and the book release. They are working on new episodes now and are happy about its evolution. Now, they want to cut ties with him because of, I guess, he's not good for the brand. Got a lot of things in the fire right now. They're working on a lot of different options. And, there's a lot of issues right now because they want to get out of contracts. And I think for Jinger and Jeremy, they want to be able to do everything they can to get out of the contracts because they want to be able to take on new projects for TV. They also want to be able to sign more contracts for, different brands. It also says that Josh's arrest has really affected everyone, from the show being canceled to brands not wanting to work with them to all kinds of, issues in terms of the optics of what it means to sign a Duggar on. I can see that, one, you're going to want to disassociate and disconnect from the family that made you famous, and also try to move forward, although you still have to stay obligated to the contracts that you have with the network. I think the thing for these two, which would be hard, and I think for any of the kids, which would be hard, is that these two were not fully on the show. They were on the show, but they were living in California, so they weren't always in every single episode in terms of like the bulk of it. They would do little snippets of them out in California, but they were not often included in all the family stuff. And so for a while, I think they have been living very separately. And I don't see Josh and Jeremy ever like bumping elbows and being okay with what happened. While I totally understand that enough is enough in terms of they don't want it to affect their brand, it would feel more genuine to me that it would be like, enough is enough. I don't want to be associated with this because of what he's done. I don't want to be associated with him because he's just not a good person. I don't want to be associated with him because he's done terrible things. Obviously, she wants them to charge him. They want to go through justice. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, I understand because I've spoken to Amy Duggar about how it's affected her brand or her business and how it's affected her husband's business. So I do understand that component of it. It's just that Jeremy and Jinger have had a very different relationship. They were on the show. Jinger has always been really close to her mom. There's always been a really tight connection between Jessa and Jinger. So how do you really separate yourself from the family when you have been so enmeshed in the family brand for such a long time? And then you go from a show to wanting to go sort of branch off on your own, and now you're mad because your brother got arrested. I mean, I can totally understand that frustration 1000%. Now, takeaways I have here is I'm not surprised they're enjoying the luxury life in California. Jeremy definitely seems like a clout chasing, like fame hungry guy. He was in my opinion, he was a soccer player, and I can't understand any other reason to go after a Duggar when you have what the life he had before, where he was very worldly, to pick a girl that had literally no life experience. I always got the sense that there was a couple of the guys that were after fame, and it was Jeremy, one of them, and Ben. Just my 2 cents. So you have Jeremy and Jinger living the high life, maybe sort of kind of accepting of the gay lifestyle, although they don't agree with gay marriage. So I don't know why that matters. Like, your marriage is not my marriage, and my marriage is not your marriage. So like, who cares who gets married? That's just my thought. Like, let everyone be happy. But maybe as time goes on and years go on, they get more and more open, and we can only hope that they continue to evolve. For now, what do you think about this? Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you not surprised? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Bye, guys.